Hey everyone, and welcome to the studio. I'm going to be doing a super quick tutorial on how to make a hand-built mug and the handle. Like this one, right here. Ta-da! So we're going to go ahead and make this, and I'm going to do it pretty fast, and you know I don't edit. This is a straight shot from start to finish. So in reality, you can make it as fast as I do. So whatever length of this video is how long it takes to make a mug with a handle. Kinda. Alright. So I've got a slab of clay about 5/16 of an inch thick rolled out, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to compress with my yellow rib both sides of the clay. I'm going to get rid of any texture that might be there already, and I'm compressing and smoothing out the surface to prepare it for the texture that I want to add to it. Because you know, it's all about the texture for me. Alright, so once you get that all done, you're going to go ahead and add texture, or not. Your choice. Look, it's your studio, it's your clay, it's your mug. You do what you want. I like to add some texture. My texture. So this is a wooden roller that I got. It's made for cookie baking. I got it from a company on Etsy. I will put everything below in the description here. You can get one of these if you want. They have a whole bunch of patterns. They're really well made. I love them. Okay, so that's my little endorsement for this company. I'm just going to roll out my texture, and you're going to see, this is why I love these rollers. Get that in there. There. So we went ahead and texturized. Look at that. Screenshot that, because that's awesome. Right? That's amazing. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and actually cut our cup from our template. This is a 4" by 12" piece of craft foam. Just cut it out, measured it. It's all good. Measure first, then cut. A little more helpful. And we're just going to line this up, and we're going to cut out our mug body. I'm just using a regular clay knife. I'm just going to cut the top and the bottom line. And then when I get to the sides, I'm going to hold my knife on an angle. And I'm going to keep that angle for both sides. Doesn't matter what angle you pick, just keep it the same. So hold the knife in your hand, cut one side, cut the other side, and then get rid of all the excess. We're going to save this because we're going to put this in our recycle bin. We're going to use it to make more pots. Alright, so that's done, and here we have our cup body. I know it looks like a slab, but it's really a cup body. I promise. Alright, so we're going to go ahead now and take our serrated rib that has been sitting in a bowl of slippy water. That's just water with some clay added to it, so it's kind of like slip, but it's not really slip, so I call it slippy water, right? Once you get both sides scored, both of the bevels right here, you're going to take your cup body, you're going to stand it up like so. Going to overlap your edges so they come like half of one edge overlapping half of the other, just like this. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and we're going to tack that on all the way down with our fingers, supporting from the inside and pressing on the outside. And I'm going to roll my finger up the side. That's going to seal the join. And then on the inside here, right in there, we need to do something about that seam, and you can use your fingers and just go in like this and just smooth it out. That works, but I like these little red ribs right here. They do a fantastic job. You just go in and smooth your seams with these, and also smooth the top seam, and when we flip it over we'll get the bottom seam. Alright, so there's the cup body. You're done. No, just kidding. No, we have to actually make the cup bottom. Oh, and a handle. Gotta get a handle on it. So we're gonna set this to the side. Just gonna put it over here. And I've got another piece of clay that I rolled out at the same time that I rolled out the clay that I made the cup body from. I'm gonna compress and smooth this. And then I'm gonna add my texture. You don't have to add texture to your bottoms. I just like it. It's like a little extra something on the bottom there. Just makes it extra cute. And you can never have too much cute in your pots. Just saying. Alright, once we get that rolled out, we're going to actually make the bottom. And we're going to make it perfectly round. To do that, We're using a 4-inch cookie cutter. Gonna line it up, press down, pop it off. Voila, the bottom. We're gonna turn it over, and I'm gonna move it to a little bit smaller piece to work with, and smaller board. I'm gonna score the edges. So that's ready. We're gonna put that on the banding wheel, and we're gonna take our little cup body, and we're gonna score that as well. Now I have found that if you do a 4 by 12-inch slab and roll it up like I did here, it fits on a 4-inch diameter circle for the bottom. They work. Math, right? Nobody wants to do math. I did it for you. So now we're going to flip our scored bottom cup over onto our scored bottom for the cup. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to line everything up. I'm just using my hand on the inside to press the slab out so that they all line up happily together on this circle, just like this. And once you get that all pressed out and lined up, you will have a circle bottom on a hand-built cup. This is going to be a mug. You could stop and not put the handle on it. It's your choice. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to smooth this join. And usually when I work on this side because I'm right-handed. I'm going to switch it over to this side. We'll see how well that goes over. So I'm going to put my finger like so. So I'm just laying it down. And then I'm going to turn the wheel once around, the banding wheel. And then I'm going to take my finger and I'm just going to roll it up. And every time I roll it up a little bit, I'm going to turn the banding wheel. And then we'll roll it up again. And by doing this, I'm actually taking a little bit of clay and I'm rolling it up the pot so that it's sealing the seam on the outside. So I did that all the way around. You're going to do that all the way around as well. Then on the inside, we're going to use a little craft brush. This is just an inexpensive soft bristle brush. You can get it at any craft store. And we're going to use that to seal the seam on the inside here. You don't have to add a coil to the inseam. You don't have to do any of that at all. We're just going to put our brush right down in to where the wall meets the bottom. And we're just going to spin it around, and that's going to smooth everything out and seal that join. Just like that. Smooth as can be. Oh, it looks good too. And you can go back in and you can just adjust it a little bit. If you feel like you have one area that needs a little more sealing than another, just go in with your brush and you'll get it. Alright, so once that's done, you're going to have a cup that's pretty much straight up and down here at the bottom, and I want a slight undercut. So to get that undercut, I'm using a wooden pottery knife. Just going to line it up right here on the edge, and I'm just going to spin this again on the banding wheel, and that's going to scrape up any excess like so and create a bevel, kind of like what we have here. You see how it slightly rounds under instead of just being straight, so that gives it a slight undercut. Alright, so we've basically made our mug body. The only thing we have left to do is to finish the rim. Now I'm going to take my sponge, dip it in some water, and then I'm going to wrap it around the rim. And I call this my taco sponge because we fold it over. Doesn't it look like a taco when you fold it? There, like that. Taco. Okay, so we're going to roll that over. Just hold it on there and spin your mug. And this is softening the edges. We don't want any sharp edges. And if you find your clay is a little dry, go ahead and just use your fingers in this pinching motion. Just pinch it and spin. And then now we're going to put it back to round. We're just going to use our hands and looking down in, we're going to round it off. So you made a cup or mug. Boom. But now we have to put a handle on it. Got to get a handle on it. So let's do the handle now. So I'm going to show you how I pull a handle. It's pretty fast, so watch close. I'm taking my excess scrap clay. I'm just going to wedge it up quickly. Since I have this right here, you know, if I'm doing a whole bunch of mugs, I will go ahead and have a bunch of clay lined up and all ready for pulling handles. But for this little tutorial, we're just going to do this right now like this. Alright, so once you get it all wedged up, you're going to roll it into a coil. About 1.5 inches 1.25 inches in diameter. And roll it up. You're going to take your bowl of water, and I'm going to pull a handle for you guys. Alright, so I'm dipping my hand in the water. This coil is kind of lumpy. If that bothers you, just roll it out on a board till it's smoother. Just like this. So simple, so easy. Now, we're going to start with the pulling. So, first pull we're going to do is called the thumb pull. So I've dipped my hand in the water, and I'm just going to pull straight down, and my thumb is going to create a groove. And I'm going to do that just like this. You turn around and do both sides. Now I'm going to do what I call my scissor pull, like this, with my 2 fingers acting like a scissor. This flattens and widens the handle. But if your handle gets a little too wide, come in and we'll do this grasping pull on the side. So that brings it back in and helps round the edges. So it's really 3 different types of pulls. You might find one you like better than the others, and you can just focus on using that. I find using all 3 really helps get a nice handle. So I'm doing this backwards, so it's a little crazy for me. This is thumb pull, scissor pull, and this is my grasping pull, like that. And so you'll just do these over and over until you get the handle length you want and the thickness you want. And it can go really fast, especially once you've made a few thousand handles in your life. So never fear, handles are a possibility. All right, so once you have this all made to the length and thickness you want, you're just going to want to sit it aside to let it set up. So I'm just going to put it here. Usually I do something like that to let air get to it so it starts to dry. So there we have a handle made. Now let's put the handle on the mug. Not this one one's too wet, but I have one waiting. So here I have a mug and I have a handle. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to take this handle, we're going to cut the excess off. So we have some excess clay. I'm going to take that off. Boom. Gone. Don't need that. Recycle that. Now we're going to take our little mug friend, pull it over here, and I want to create a really cute decorative handle edge. So I'm flattening this out, and now I'm going to take a flower cookie cutter. I'm going to go in, line it up like this, and I'm just going to press that in. And that creates this little kind of dog paw mitteny shape thing. And now I'm going to pinch to smooth, and we're going to check length. Way too long, so we can take some off the bottom. And everybody asks me how long are my handles. Depends on the cup you're making. This one here, let's see, this one is about 5.5 inches. So if you're making this and you want to know how long I made my handle, 5.5 inches. There you go. We're going to do the same thing on the bottom that we did on the top with the cookie cutter. We're going to pinch and widen, take our cookie cutter, line it up, and cut. Just like that. You can make them the same size. I like my bottom cut a little tapered. So once that's done, just going to curl this a bit into a handle shape, and now we're going to score. We're going to score the bottom. We're going to score the top. We're going to take our little mug, line it up on the seam right here, and just stick it on there. Give it a good pressing, then you pull it off. We've left some slip behind. We wanted to do that because that's where we're going to score the cup, so we can then attach that. So scoring the cup top, scoring the cup bottom. Now we're going to attach the handle. Supporting on the inside, I'm just going to take my fingers and wiggle it on, and then I'm just going to roll with my fingers to really get that around. And now we're going to do basically the same thing on the bottom. Support it from the inside, press it in good with your thumb, and then use your fingers to press it around. And now you have a handle. It's on. And you can make them as big or as little as you want. Now for drying, what I do is I turn them over for about a half an hour or so and let them set up. That helps get a really lovely shape to the handle. And then once it's sat up for about 30 minutes, I turn it back over and let it finish drying that way. And the very last thing I do to my handles to finish them off is I take a rubber shaper. This is a rubber tip tool, also called a color shaper. And I like to go in right here. You see all this slip? I like to go in and just use this to clean up any slip that squeezes out. Wait for about 30 minutes or so though, because you want it to set up a little bit. Last thing we do, the bottom. So we have this gorgeous textured bottom, but we do have to finish the edge. So we're going to take a sponge and we're just going to lightly wipe this edge. That's it. You made a mug, a slab built mug in 15 minutes. How awesome is that? So there you go. There's our mug. When it's finished, it'll look similar in color to this. I know it's a picture, not a mug. I don't have one of these guys glazed in front of me, but I got that. So you can check out the color because it's the same pattern and it's the same glaze I'm going to use on these guys. So there you go. A 15-minute mug, hand-built, awesome shape, great handle. Go ahead and give this a try in your studio and let me know how it works for you. As always, you can find me here on YouTube. Subscribe to my channel. Give this video a thumbs up. If you want more in-depth instruction, broken down with HD videos, up close, really precise, easy to understand classes, come over and find me on clayshare.com. That is my website. I teach there full time. I have over 100 classes. This one isn't there. I did this especially for you guys on YouTube, so it's your own little treat. I hope you enjoy it. If you like it and you want to learn more, come find me on Clayshare. All right, guys, as always, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for joining me in the studio, and I cannot wait until we meet again.